Hi everyone, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today is solar eclipse day and I am in Michigan and we are in a 96.9% coverage of the moon over the sun, and it's coming up here in a couple of hours. So I wanted to talk to you about the livestock and the farm. Now we know, don't look right at the sun, it can damage your eyes, and likewise for your kids. It's kind of like when the airplane crashes. Put your own mask on first. Well, we got to make sure these guys are taken care of. But guess what? They don't know what's going on. They're not going to be looking up at the sun. There is so much fuss over all these different like Facebook groups on homesteading and things of people who have raised their first batch of chickens. They got baby chicks and they're not sure what to do about them. We've had partial eclipses and different things throughout the years. And it might get a little shadowed in our area. We're not going to get total darkness because we're not in that total eclipse section. They're just going to go about their own business. They're fine. Us, however, the kids are super excited. George has claimed himself quite the scientist, and he watches a lot of NOVA programs, PBS specials and things of the sort. He is really into science. So we wanted to make sure everybody had what they needed. Our local libraries were giving away solar eclipse glasses for free, and a lot of big box stores had them for like $1.99 a pair. We did a little bit of research and looking, and if needed, you can use your welding glasses, welding and torching goggles, and things of that nature. So we're kind of just taking care of things outside today while we're getting ready. It's going to be a beautiful 70, 72 degrees today. My rhubarb is taking right off, and every year I do some rhubarb divides. I had said before I've been kind of dividing these off, trying to make them less bulky and bushy. I plant them in general about 24 inches apart when I first plant them, and they start getting quite big. I took a whole plant out here at the end of the row because of going in and out of the cow pen. But I had started with a double row. So this one has to come out and that'll get divided into new plants. I can start another section if I want. This one is quite large already, and that's about 2 or 3 different plants growing in there. So that's what I keep on doing. This one needs to go, this one needs to go. You know, it's just making a sorted garden out of some chaos. But like this one can go. And I start selling those off in pots for about $5 to $10 a piece. Well, with inflation, I realized I needed to pay myself, and I used my old yogurt containers. We're going to have pie in about 2 weeks. Can't wait. We always freeze some and can some and put it up, so that's always nice. And George has been working on his garden with Murdoch and Trey. We had all of our square bales or our round bales that were wrapped in this section, so it's already a ready-made spot for them. I've always wanted this area to be a garden. The trouble was bringing the stack wagon here and then going over to the barn and backing it up to leave piles with the hay elevator going into that opening there. We switched over to round bales, and we won't need this area. In the past, it's been just extra mowing. Why not feed the family off of this? So today, to get the kids outside ahead of time, we have got sunflower seeds, and Bethany's been planting some tulips and daffodils through here. But she's got a woodchuck that's been coming, and we've tried to catch him. We haven't got him yet. But it doesn't look like he's been in or out of here, so I think he might be gone. We're going to throw some rocks in here and then throw some dirt in to protect any little ankles. And we're going to start working on getting these grass clumps out of here. Trey got a really good, I think it's a wheel horse by Toro rototiller, and he wants to be able to get it going to help George with his gardening and help Murdoch with his. This isn't like garden soil. It hasn't been treated with manure or anything, so it's going to take some amending and a bit more work than where Murdoch is gardening, but they all want to help George be successful. And Bethany's perennial garden is kind of out of hand. There's been a lot of grass cropping up in here, and we've been pulling out things. There was a lot of irises here when we moved here that need to be divided, and a lot of black-eyed Susans. And they're starting to grow out here into the yard. So we're thinking just get rid of this little grass patch that's hard to get through and let her kind of continue this on and pull out grass. And all of my rhubarb divides that I had left from last year, they're dormant and they've been brought out for the sun and given some water. So they'll enjoy some eclipse sun today. And the strawberries I brought out about 2 weeks ago, and then we still had a couple of cold nights and I missed a night. So I covered them up at night, and you can see those brown leaves, they were all green. I about killed them. This one, there wasn't hardly anything growing in it anyway. So I don't know if anything's going to take off in here or not. I've got some maple trees growing, maybe nothing else. So we'll just slowly make some divides. But it is a honeybee day. I've been seeing the honeybees out looking for dandelion pollen and tree pollen. So it'd be really great to be able to get out to those beehives at some point today. There was just a bee right there. Those honeybees are great, and they are going to help us in our gardens. So that's why I want to plant more sunflowers, get this cleaned up for Bethany in the next week, and get her a lot of sunflowers growing. These rose bushes have been nothing but trouble. They are pokey. They prevent her from getting in there, and I think we're going to just pull them out. I decided to go for a walk, and we came over to the tree that had fallen in that storm last year. There are still bees living up there. They made it through the winter, and there are many bees flying around up there. I told my husband he needed to cut this and take care of it when the weather was still cold. And if it's over 50, they're flying and they're out. So it's kind of going to have to pull it with a backhoe and not be able to get up there to cut it. And we're going to have to just cut and clean up here what we can. But these are the things that we're checking out while we're waiting and going for a walk.
Okay.
I don't know. The sun's in my eyes, so I can't see because I don't have a second pair.
Of the thing. Yeah. It's in terrible shape.
So we've all gathered in the backyard now, and the library was able to give us 4 pair. We figured out that the torching goggles weren't enough, but the welding masks work. So I was trying to get a shot of the sun. This is just what it's looking like without. But I can't see where it's at. Right about there you can see it.
Getting bigger.
Okay. So this is an old welding helmet, so it's harder to see. But it looks like just on that bottom side it's starting. So all the family was saying that this old helmet just made it blurry, but I've had sunglasses on the whole time and it wasn't affecting me. So we figured out with this helmet, if you wear your sunglasses, then you're good with the helmet also. I thought I'd try with the other welding helmet, but I'm having a hard time seeing. It's blurry without the sunglasses. So I noticed with the breeze, I was actually getting cold. So I took a break to go grab my sweater, and the moon was covering the sun about half. And now that I come back, it's kind of like a sliver left of the sun. Let me turn the camera around and you can kind of see it looks kind of normal on camera. It's hard for the kids to sit. It's been an hour. So for the moon to move back, everyone said that it would take about 2 hours. I will tell you though, I don't know if it's the pollen. My eyes are watering like crazy. Springtime, huh? But like the shadows are kind of muddled. They're not direct. Look at that. But it's weird. It's like when a storm is happening. But the birds are chirping, the chickens are out, the cows are out mooing. They're all just over there lounging. They don't care. And some sunflower plants are going in. I told the kids, why don't you plant some sunflowers? That's what they've been working on. So this is with the lens of the glass right over my phone. So like there you can't really see what's going on. And with there you can see there's just a bit. We're thinking that this is about the most that it's going to be. That must have been an autocorrect thing that just happened. We're supposed to be like 96.9% at our area. There you go. You just can't expect us low-end YouTubers to having these fancy cameras to film all that. I'm sure that there's YouTubers that have it, but we're filming on our Samsung phones. Yeah. I'm getting mooned in the background. Well, we sat still as long as we could, and the eclipse is over now. Middle of the day, still plenty of work to do. We used a lot of firewood that was free. I have a daughter that says she won't burn anything but hickory, and she's been in her house for about 8 or 9 years now. And you know what they burn? Nothing. We have heated our house 2 years in a row, cleaning up this field row with all kinds of hardwoods. I've got cherry and maple. We get some oak in here, locust. It all burns great. So for 2 years cleaning up this field row and fence row, we haven't even gone into this section of the woods. And this is only part of the woods. There's, I think he said 40 acres of woods. Guess how many hickory trees I have in there? A couple. Less than 10 probably. So I know we're buying fuel, but a BTU is a BTU. And rather than burn this up and waste that BTU as fuel, we're cutting everything we can. Because you can see, like here, this little stuff, sometimes you got to get a fire going. And these limbs that are like as big as my legs, they don't have to be split and they don't start good. So this smaller stuff and split stuff is what we always use to start a fire. And this is what we put on to keep warm all night. Now last night was the last freezing night or the night before. So we're probably out of firewood season. This will sit in the driveway and dry, get lots of wind and sun, and be ready for next year. It was a good job done. We got about 300 feet done, him and Trey cutting today. I got my trunk almost full, his loader bucket's full, and his back bucket's half full. So that's a lot of good work and a head start on next year. Husband said he thinks there's 0 hickory trees. Now I've seen some kind of a nut in the back out by the river, and it's right on the line, so maybe he's right, maybe there is none, maybe there's a couple. My point is, you don't buy propane when your mom has like a 40-acre woods or however many acres it is. And I could tell her, drive your truck here and fill it up, bring a trailer and fill it up, and she still wouldn't burn it. I could deliver it to her and she would say, well, I have to clean the chimney or I have to clean it out, and she still wouldn't burn it unless her brother came and cleaned her chimney out and hooked it up. But then someone's got to clean out the chimney every week or every couple of weeks, and we get plenty of that here. And there's another reason not to burn it. So for some people it's easier to burn propane. Pay the propane company their delivery fee and everything like that. This is my once a year plan. A little at a time. Just fill it up. That wind just whips up this driveway, and after it's all dry, we'll fill the storage bin when it's empty, because we're not doing grain anymore, and it can all go in there and be nice and dry. The good thing about firewood, it doesn't just heat you once. You get heated up and burn some fat when you're cleaning it up, gathering it, stacking it, hauling it in the house, and then warming you up when it's burning in your firebox. Well, our firewood farm work is done for the day. I hope you enjoyed the clips, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.